Hey guys, welcome back to the Aesthetic Sketchbook series. So today we're taking a break from all the bouquet and all the rain. I'm going to be painting some Impressionist wildflowers. So this painting has a very earthy palette to it. So on the top part, I'm using olive green and also raw sienna, and I mix it together. And for the bottom, I'm using Van Dyck brown mixed with olive green and Mighty's green. And then I just blend it in the middle. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of like blending it sideways so it looks a little bit windswept, because later on I'm gonna add foliage that's just kind of like growing in all sorts of areas. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I want to slowly build this landscape. And by building, I mean that I want to kind of mark out where I want this grass to grow and which direction and kind of like all the other areas. So it's going to be layers by layers. So for the dark leaves, I'm using Mighty's green mixed with Prussian blue and a little bit of Van Dyck brown, and then all this other kind of like dead grass, dried grass, I'm using raw sienna mixed with a little bit of ivory white. I want this to look as well as unkempt as possible, so I'm kind of drawing it in all different directions, but it also has this kind of like nice flow to it. On the top part, I add a little bit of emerald green and a little bit more like lighter tones on the top part of the grass, and at the bottom I add more darker shades of green and brown and more dead grass and raw sienna. And then I add a few more streaks here and there in portrait tone mixed with Naples yellow to kind of brighten it up a little bit. So you just have to be very patient with this part, and you just have to go layers by layers by layer and continuously add it till there's volume. So I accidentally didn't record this part, and what I'm doing is I'm just kind of adding different shapes of leaves, and I'm using a bit of, I'm mixing it with blue and green and white to get that teal color. Next, I want to add the flowers. So for these flowers, I mix white with pink, purple and blue. Then you'll get this kind of nice grayish, whitish, pinkish shade. So I just add a few random flowers here and there. Just want to kind of cover up this space in this middle and balance out this whole landscape. I actually really like this shade. It looks kind of white, but it's not white, but it also looks a bit gray or purplish, depending on how the light shines upon it. So I'm just adding a few more flowers here to kind of balance it on this side. And then what I want to do is I'm going to add highlights on this flower. I'm using white with pink, so it gets a bit more pink, and also just a dash of white. And in the middle, I add yellow mint. I like the yellow touch in this. I think it kind of like makes the color pop a little bit more. Then for the finishing touch, I just take the same shade that I used for the flower, and then I use the angular brush, and I just add a few more dashes here and there to kind of add a bit more pink and a bit more color in the middle. And it is finished. I hope you like this very simple painting. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Goodbye.